So hello, everyone. My name is Corrie McLean. I am from an organisation called Three Sisters Consultancy, and we are based in Scotland. So apologies if my accent is a little bit tricky for some people. Today, we're going to be talking about growing up, puberty, and autism and what it has got to do with me. Now, before we do that, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Three Sisters Consultancy and what we do and how we work with the communities that we work with. So first of all, there's two of us as part of the consultancy, myself and my sister. And the idea is that you become our third sister and you become part of the family. And my background is in teaching, specifically around SEN, additional support needs teaching, and also delivering sexual health, relationships, and parenthood sessions to parents, professionals, and also young people themselves. So my kind of background is working directly with young people themselves. My sister's background is in the more kind of academic side of it, research-based, strategic stuff, but also we're carers for our brother. So we grew up in an autistic household. A very autistic household. So I think having that lived experience is the thing that we learn. And also when we learn from others, it's really important as well. So most of our work is around creating a more holistic approach where we work with parents, we work with carers, we work with professionals, so that then we can do really in-depth, detailed work with our young people. Now, some people might ask, why do you need to speak to parents and practitioners before we speak to young people? Well, especially for younger people, maybe aged kind of 11 to 16, they might have questions and they might have things that they need to clarify after our session, especially if you're autistic, you might take 1 or 2 weeks to process something. So what we try and do is make sure that the parents and carers and professionals that support them have a confidence and have a wealth of knowledge. And even if their answer is, listen, I don't know, but I'll get back to you on that, they have our resources. They have, for example, recordings of webinars like this that help. So that's kind of our strategy. I really enjoy working with young people because I think autistic and in general neurodivergent people often are diagnosed later in life. Often they find that they don't get the right support when it comes to sexual health and relationships education, but also they might not have the same opportunities as a lot of their peers to experience that and make those mistakes that maybe some of us did when we were children. But also it's a safe space and it's a space without judgment where we can make sure that the language we use is appropriate. We make sure that the pitch we make it is appropriate, but also that we actually have fun. We don't want it to be a boring, this is this is how relationships work. We want it to be an in-depth conversation where young people more than anything can learn about themselves and try and put together who they are and then explore in the future, if they are looking to have relationships, etc., what it means to be autistic or neurodivergent, and then how that might impact them when it comes to their future. And that's a little introduction.
Thank you. So I'm thanking everybody for joining us. I was just speaking to Corrie before we came on, and what we were just talking about is that it's really frustrating, when we're talking about just in general when it comes to autism, people got these thinking that autistic people or young people who may come and ask a tricky question, and sometimes if it's with the wrong person, they may think, oops, the person may have probably been sexually abused or what they've been exposed to. And I think we need to have this open space discussions where, this was meant to be for young autistic people between this 16 and 25 or 30. But what we are finding is, I had a conversation with somebody in the last couple of days saying, this person, I don't think they can do this presentation, this webinar, because all they're probably interested in is kissing. And I turned around and I said to you that I think it's quite worrying because this person does want to have a relationship. They do want a girlfriend. And I don't think they can't, because I know this person. And I'm just saying to any parent out there or any professional, we can't speak for our young person. We have to have these safe spaces, because when your young person comes home and says they've had a bad experience, the negative impact it has if they have been gone through trauma in regards to being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And what happens is, in my case, as I say, I look at my oldest daughter, obviously anybody who knows is that she left at 14, came back home at 16, and to find out that she was 6 months pregnant, had to deliver my grandson at home. And if I had that proper conversation with her at the time, I feel maybe things would have been different. And then you look at my other young adults, the other two youngest, 17 and 20, same thing. It's conversations that I can have. But then when you have professionals turn around, someone's in reports and say, our young people are vulnerable, why is it that when we go to social services or we go to the school and say we need some support, they don't give it to us? And then when they get caught up in mishaps on the wrong side, or wherever they get caught up in the criminal justice system, our young people, it's us parents are the ones that get blamed. So I feel that the social services, I think the police, I think domestic violence organizations need to know what autism is and how if you're counseling somebody who's autistic, don't assume that your way is the right way. And that's why I was saying to Corrie, everyone, is that in the summer holidays, I'm looking for her to come down, and she will be doing a conference. But what we're going to do is she'll be hopefully doing some fees. I've told her she has to charge for it because it's her time, and she will do some one-to-one sessions where you can have some time to speak to her on your own. If there's some difficult conversations that you're too scared to speak. And also the reason why I did this as a webinar, I found out when I did this in COVID, there was a lot of people who were too scared to show their faces, to show their names. So I feel that what we're going to do when Corrie does these events again is we're going to be doing the webinars again unless some people are confident to show their face and have conversations. But I think we just need to have safe spaces where once a month, if we can afford Corrie, is that we can get her to come back and do these conversations. And and the reason why we're recording this now is to get it out there to say, we need to start getting parents, professionals, any organization to make sure that when they're talking about growing up, puberty and autism, your way may be the wrong way, and why we've got a lot of autistic young people getting caught up in the criminal justice system, inappropriate sexualized behavior, because they felt that when it was sensory, they end up becoming sexual because they never dealt with their child, young person properly. So we're going to stop the recording for many reasons, because I feel that copyright needs to be protected, and I just wanted to get it out there. So thank you, Corrie.
Thank you very much.